students. In the previous video we have studied about the introduction to the memory and the programmable logic. That is, we have seen what is a memory. Basically, memory unit is nothing but a collection of cells which consists of many of the gates and latches, where it acts as an intermediary between input and the output. That is, the memory unit, it takes it stores the data from the input, and once it stores the information or binary information from the input, it then sends out of the memory unit for further processing. It doesn't do any of the operation other than storage. So memory unit is nothing but a storage, what we have seen in the yesterday's, that is, introduction video. So today we'll be going with the first and the foremost topic, that is random access memory. As we have studied, there are two types of memories majorly, that is random access memory and the read-only memory. So what is actually random access memory? What we have studied in the yesterday's class, this random access memory, it can do both write operation as well as read operation. So what is a write operation? We have studied the process of transferring or the process of storing the data from input to the memory unit is writing of a data. What is reading of a data? Reading is nothing but the process of taking the data out from the memory unit. Either it can be for an output purpose or it can be for any other purpose also. The process of taking the binary information from the memory unit is nothing but reading of a data. So we have seen two types of operation, that is writing and reading of a data, in the yesterday's video. And there are two types of memory we have seen, that is read-only memory and random access memory. Random access memory does both, that is reading and writing, whereas read-only memory does only one operation, that is only it does the reading of operation, reading of a data, not writing of a data. So today we'll be in detail we'll be studying about the random access memory. So as we know, random access memory, we'll go with the first point. Memory unit is a collection of storage cells together with associated circuits needed to transfer information into and out of a device. This is about the memory unit. So the architecture of the memory is such that memory is what? Random access memory. So the architecture of random access memory is such that information can be selectively retrieved from any of the internal locations. So here the architecture, if you notice the architecture is not being given for your syllabus, but if we study about the architecture of random access memory, it gives us the information that I can retrieve the data. Retrieve means what? Taking out of a data. So I can take the data from any of the location. So since I can take the data from any of the location, that is why the term called as a random. Random means what here? Picking of a data randomly. For example, if I tell picking of a students randomly. So similarly here also, random means nothing but taking of a data, retrieving of a data from any of the locations. So that is nothing but what? Randomly. So randomly I take the data. So that is why the name called as a random access memory. And another one is, in this random access memory, so the time taken to transfer into a memory and the time taken to transfer the data out of the memory is same. That is also, it is termed as a random access memory. So here we'll study something new information about the memory unit. What it actually consists of. As we know, in the simple terms, a memory unit, it consists of a cells. It is a circuit which consists of a latches. But what it is exactly, we are going to study in this slide. So a memory unit stores binary information in groups of bits called as words. So we are going to study the memory unit consists of data in terms of not bits. Bits means what? 101, 10101. 8 bits is nothing but what? 1 byte, as we know. So here data in our memory unit, it is not stored in 1 bit or 8 bits, but it is stored in terms of word. So what is a word? Word is nothing but it is a group of 16 bits. Remember, 8 bits form a 1 byte, whereas 16 bits form what? One word. So data in our memory unit, it is stored in terms of a word. So a word in a memory is an entity that move in and out of a storage unit. That is, from now onwards, I'll be using the term called as a word. What is a word? It is nothing but what? Our information in the memory unit, it is in the form of a words. That is, the data is transferred into a memory in the world. Again, the data is transferred into out of a memory. Again, it is in terms of world. That is what 16 bits are arranged in our memory unit. So another information is a memory word. Now coming to a single word. Word means what? 16 bits form a word. So this a memory word. It is a group of, obviously binary means ones and zeros, and this may represent a number. This group of word, it may represent a number, or it may represent an instruction, or it may be alphanumeric. Alphanumeric means what? Alphabets and numbers, that is combined together, alphanumeric characters or any other binary coded information. So this word in our memory location, it can represent a number, it can represent any of the alphabet, it can be alphanumeric, etc. So giving to the information here, 8 bits is equal to 1 byte, 16 bits is equal to 1 word, or 2 byte is equal to 1 word. Both are one and the same. So coming to a detailed study of this memory unit, as you can see, there is a box which represents the memory unit. We have some of the inputs and we have some of the outputs. As you notice the diagram, we have n data input lines and we have n data output lines. We have something called as k address line. Then we have read and we have write. Reading of operation, writing of operation. Inside the box we have memory unit. Memory unit means what? Definitely, as I told you, our information in the memory unit will be in terms of what? It will be in terms of a word. Word means what? 16 bits. 16 bits form one word. So memory unit, that is 2 to the power of k. 2 means what? 2 to the power of 10. There will be so many number of words arranged in our memory unit. That is n bit per word. N bits per word. So coming to the first point, the n data input lines provide the information to the store. Yes, for a memory unit, we'll be having something input. Data is stored into the memory unit, right? Data is stored into a memory, right? That is writing of a data. That is nothing but what? N data input lines. Then what is n data output lines? The process of taking the data, binary data. What binary data? Data in terms of words. Taking out of the words outside the memory unit is nothing but what? N data output lines. It is nothing but what? N data output lines. So it is nothing but a reading. So apart from these two, there is something called as k address lines. What is this k address line? There will be many number of address lines. That is, each address line, each address will consist of one word. Word means again 16 bits. So there will be many number of addresses arranged. We'll see in the next slide. Addresses which consists of what? Many number of words. Whichever the word we want, we have to select randomly. Then we have, apart from these two, there are two control signals: reading of a data and writing of a data. Writing of a data means what? Transferring the data into a memory. Right? Reading of a data is transferring the data out of the memory. So again I'm going to repeat here, the two control inputs specify the direction of transfer of a desired. The write input causes binary data to be transferred into a memory, and read causes the binary information to be transferred out of the memory. So the memory unit is specified by the number of words it consists and the number of bits in each word. So address lines, coming, as I told you, there will be many number of address lines. The address line select one particular word. For example, imagine we have so many number of words arranged. Word means what? 16 bits. There will be many number of words arranged. This address line, it points to only one word. It points to only one word. That pointing of one word is nothing but what? It is our address. So the address line selects one particular word. Each word in memory is assigned an identification number called as the address. It will be starting from 0 to 2 to the power of k minus 1, where k is the number of address lines. Okay. In this point, remember one thing, we will be having many number of words arranged. Many number of words arranged. Our k bit, imagine our k address bit, it points to only one word. Once imagine it is pointing to some word. Once it points to that word, that is called as address. That is called as address. So this addresses will be, that is our words will be from 0 to 2 to the power of k minus 1, where k is nothing but what? It is address lines. K is nothing but address lines. understand this, imagine we'll go with an example. A memory unit with capacity of 1k words. With capacity of 1k words. What is the meaning of 1k words? 1k is nothing, is equal to 1024. 1k is equal to, number is what? 1024. So imagine now I have 1024 words. What is this words? Again in each of these words we have 16 bits, because as I have told you, each word consists of 16 bits. So here I'll be having how many here? 1k words. 1k means what here? 1024. So in each of these words I'll be having 16 bits each. So what we have got now here, since 1k is equal to 1024 and 16 bits constitute 2 bytes. 16 bits means what here? 2 bytes. If I want to tell you, no doubt here I have 1024 words. Okay, 1024 words. What about bytes here? If I want to convert to bytes, bytes is nothing but what? Constitutes 2 bytes. We can say that memory can accommodate 2048, that is 2k bytes. Word means 1k word. Double of this is what? 2k bytes, because as we know 2 bytes is equal to 1 word. So the figure in the next slide shows each word consists of 16 bits that can be divided into 2 bytes. The words are recognized by their decimal numbers from 0 to 1023. I'll explain here. Now consider here a memory address. Simple memory address. Leave about memory content last box. It is randomly memory content I have added. Now concentrate on first 2 columns. As I have told you, consider a memory unit consisting of 1k words. 1k decimal means 0. Actually there are 1k is 1024, as I have told. 1024 means 0 to 1023. 0 to 1023. So each of the decimal, they are represented in binary in terms of 10 bits. So 0 is represented as all 0, then 1 is last 1, 2. Similarly, 1023 is represented as all the 10 bits as 1111. So this is what for us? This is a memory unit consisting of 1023 words. Words means what? Now you concentrate on memory content. Each of this 0, 16, it consists of some 16 bits, that is 1 word. Again 1, it consists of 16. 2 is consists of 16. So on up to 1023, it consists of 16. How it is arranged? Don't worry about that. Each of the memory content, it may represent some of the information. It may represent any of the alphanumeric characters. So always remember, the memory content can be anything, but in our example we have taken it as 1024, 1k, 0 to 1023. Again I'll go back to previous slide. So the words are, I'll read from first again. A memory unit with capacity 1k words of 16 bits each. 1k is nothing but what? 1024. That is 16 bits constitutes 2 bytes, or else just leave off this bytes. Don't worry about this bytes. Just remember 1k words we'll be having, each one word will have 16 bits each. So the words are recognized by their decimal numbers 0 to 1023. So the equivalent binary address consists of 10 bits. The first address specified with 10 zeros. The last address is specified with 10 ones, because 1023 is 10 ones. If we put 10 as 1111, I'll be getting 1023. So this is about 1024 into 16 memory. So coming to the next, write and read operations. So basically our RAM, it does 2 operations, read and write operation, whereas our ROM, it does only 1 operation, read. So the 2 operations that RAM can perform are read and write operation. The write signal specifies transfer in operation and read specifies transfer out operation. So the steps that must be taken for the purpose of transferring a new word to be stored in a memory are as follows. First is write operation. Applies the address. As we know, address. Apply the address, binary address of a desired word to our address lines. Means, for example, imagine we have so many number of words. If which address you want, you just K is there, no? You just point to that address. That is, That will be our address. Then apply the data bits. Since it is a transfer in, write means what? Transferring in of a data. So apply the data bits that must be stored into the memory. Activate the write input. So this is our write operation. Coming to read operation is very simple. Apply the binary address. Similarly here also, which address you want, you apply the address of a desired word to address lines. Activate the read input. So instead of going separately with the read operation and the write operation, here we have only a single table which does both for us. One is read operation, second is the write operation, by having one important point, that is memory enable. If memory enable is 0, that is don't care. X means don't care. It can be read or it can be write. No memory operation is taken place. Whereas if memory enable is 1, if our read write value is 0, write is selected. If our read is 1, then read is selected. Instead of separately doing read and write, we can summarize in one table. So the memory enable, sometimes called a chip select, is used to enable the particular memory chip in a multi-chip implementation of a large memory. So this is used to select whether to read or whether to write. So when the memory enable is inactive, the memory chip is not selected. When memory enable is active, read or write input determines the operation of a perform. So coming to our types of memories, RAM, that is random access memory, it has two types. One is static RAM, second is the dynamic RAM. So static RAM and the dynamic RAM. So static RAM and dynamic RAM both are volatile types of a memory. Volatile means what? If I store a data into a memory, once the power is turned off, all the data is being lost. Volatile means temporary. Whereas ROM, that is read-only memory, is non-volatile. So coming to static RAM, it consists of essentially of internal latches that store the binary information. The stored information remains valid as long as the power is applied to the unit. Yes. So the static RAM, it consists of some of the latches. Latches are flip-flops. We'll study in the next unit. So these are that stores the binary information until the power is supplied. Whereas dynamic RAM, it stores the binary information in the form of electric charges on capacitors provided inside the chip by MOSFET transistors. That is here. No doubt our static RAM, it stores the binary information in latches, whereas our dynamic RAM, it stores the binary information in the form of some of the electric charges. It stores in the form of like positive and negative electric charges on our capacitors. So once this data, dynamic RAM, it is stored in capacitors, the capacitors must be periodically recharged by refreshing the dynamic memory. So this dynamic RAM, in dynamic memory, once the data is stored in the capacitors, it must be regularly recharged by refreshing dynamic memory. So this recharge can be done by cycling through the words every few milliseconds to restore the decaying charge. That is meaning here, refreshing is done by cycling through the words. That is what, for every milliseconds I am cycling the words. I am changing the words. I am cycling the words to restore what? Decaying means if anything charge is being removed, then to restore this decaying charge. So DRAM, that is dynamic RAM, offers reduced power consumption and larger storage capacity in single memory chip, whereas static RAM is easier to use and has shorter read-write cycles. Memory units that lose stored information when power turn off are called volatile. Yes, volatile means when when power is turned off, the data is being lost. That is volatile. Whereas non-volatile is nothing but when power is turned off, also our data will be there. That is non-volatile. Example ROM, and other non-volatile are nothing but magnetic disks. So this is the end of our random access memory.